Hey, what's up? This is Justin with WinkSound.com. In this video, you'll learn how to create the New York style boom bap drums made famous by many East Coast producers, Wu-Tang and all those guys. I'm gonna show you this in Pro Tools 8. Let's check it out.
Okay, so when I start out making these kind of drums, I start with my tempo at 90 BPMs, usually around that BPM. And what I've done here is I've loaded up a bunch of samples. I have 3 different kick samples, 2 different snares, closed hi-hat, open hi-hat, and then I perform the bass. So the key to getting these really fat drum sounds is layering the drums. So here's the two kicks that are on one track. So you'll hear the difference. So the reason why I did that is just to give it a little bit more movement, but as you can see, that kick, the main one in there, is very clicky. That one's very clicky because that's for my articulation, and this one is kind of more of the body. You know, it's got that vinyl thing going on too, which is, you know, New York style drums sampling from vinyl and stuff. So here's them together. So just to give it a little bit more movement, I added that other third kick sound. And I have 2 snare sounds layered on top of each other. One, again, is like more for the articulation and that kind of vinyl sound. And then the other one is more of a body. And then them together. Okay, and then I have a closed hi-hat and open hi-hat. There's like something weird in there, but that's because this closed hi-hat hit right here, I stretched it out with the TCE tool just to give it a little bit more movement. Yeah, I'll play it again. So here's them together again. Just to give it kind of a swing. And here is the bass that I performed. I used a hybrid synth plugin that comes with Pro Tools. I'd much rather record a real bass just to give it a more aggressive feel, but this is what I had to work with. Okay, you know, very simple, but I lined up the hits with the kick, you know, to give the kick more body, and, you know, so I'll play the whole thing right now. So now, mixing part, you know, once you lay your samples together, and so what I've done on that bass part is I added a little bit of a distortion with this Sans amp that comes with Pro Tools. Everything that I'm using comes with Pro Tools except on the Master Fader, which I'll get to in a second. I compressed the bass and added that distortion. So let's hear that. And then the kicks, the kick that's more for the articulation, I cut out some of the lows and the highs and just left the mids there. And I also compressed that as well. Very light compression and fast because the hits are all fast. Then I compressed the more bodied snare, kick. And let's hear those. That's with the compression and the EQ. Then on one snare, I also EQ'd out the lows. The one that's more for articulation, I compressed that one as well with very fast compression. And I also sent it to a bus right here, which is going to be some reverb. I'm just using the air reverb. All the plugins I'm using, again, are within Pro Tools. So, and then on that one snare that's more of the body, I added distortion again because, you know, you want these drums to be kind of dirty, and I also compressed it as well, very fast compression. Okay, and I panned one of the snares slightly to the left, and I also panned the hi-hats left as well. So here's just the two snares together with the compression and the EQ and the reverb. It's very light reverb on it. And then for the hi-hat, I EQ'd it a bit. I EQ'd out some of the lows just to make some separation within everything. And then on the master fader, what I did was I also compressed it. You know, everything compression for these drums because you want them to hit hard. I did some fast compression on there as well. And I added this isotope vinyl, which is a free plugin you can get just to give it a little bit more dirtiness to it. I added some mechanical noise and some wear to it. You know, nothing too crazy, but you know, gives it a little bit more dynamics. So let me play this for you, the final product. Might not be exactly what you're looking for, but these are definitely the basics for these boom bap drums. You know, compressing a lot and, you know, creating the separation with the EQ, matching up the bass with the kick. You know, all that stuff's gonna make things punch real hard because that's what you're looking for.
You can always get in touch with Justin at WinkSound.com and check out more of Justin's videos, including these titles featuring the new Pro Tools 8, now available on demand at WinkSound.com.